New at 4, how does getting paid to shop sound? Well, that's what HEB is offering. The grocery chain says it will now pay customers to buy their products through HEB's new debit card. Customers will get cash back when they use the card to buy eligible items, and they'll also get 5% cash back when they buy HEB brand products. HEB says the amount of cash back will then automatically be issued to the customer's bank account. Customers can sign up on heb.com.
The sheriff will be having a national night out this Thursday from 6 to 8:30. This will be at the sheriff's office on Old Alice Road. This will be a family event. It will be games, food, drinks, music, and prizes. Now, this is a great way for the family to come out, and as always, the sheriff does a great job of encouraging and inviting the community out for a family event. So, if you don't have anything to do on Thursday, weather permitting, the sheriff is inviting us, the community, out to have an awesome time with law enforcement, and it's a great way for us to bond and have that relationship with our sheriff and his law enforcement officials. So again, a national night out set for tomorrow, Thursday, September 15th, from 6 to 8:30. There will be games, food, drinks, and a whole lot of fun. So make sure you stop by if you have nothing to do and want to take the kids out of the house for a bit. Now, crypto as of late has been tanking. We have seen how the market has not fared well. And who can forget how everyone was on Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and everybody wanted to jump on that gravy train, it seemed. And it seemed as if this was the new era. This was the fast way to make money through cryptocurrency. As of late, we have seen how the market as a whole has taken a dip. Yesterday was a very bad day for investors. Now, the way this works is long-term investors, they're in it for the long haul, and they try to get stocks at a low price. If you're new to the market, people tend to freak out once there's a slight dip. Yesterday, we did see the Dow Jones did dip 4%. Uh, and this is huge because yesterday there was a loss of over $1 trillion one day. And the stocks did plummeted, and this was one of the worst days since the pandemic. And the issue here is that the market, the way it works is that it is worried since the United States is currently dealing with inflation, and many experts, many economists do fear that the government will be increasing the rates. Gee, live TV. Live TV. But nonetheless, you and I can agree that we have seen better days within the market, and many have questioned and said, uh, Not today. Many have questioned and said, what active role does the president have regarding the market? Uh, do the markets uh, tend to fare well with presidents, with those in power? Do they have some sort of control over us? Once again, we have seen how uh, the economy hasn't fared well to this administration, but nonetheless, the market did take a dip, and many have questioned and stated that inflation is set to go even higher, and many individuals will be affected by this even more. We have been seeing a slight dip in gasoline, but many economists are saying that that is just temporarily, that the rise in gas prices will go up. Can we correlate this with the stock market crashing, so to speak? Again, this is the worst day since June of the pandemic. Now, again, if you're a long term investor, you like this. Why? Because you're able to buy cheap. Again, those people with money, they're in it for the long haul. They're not really worried about small dips here and there. But nonetheless, we have those individuals that are fresh in the market and they want to make a quick buck. Those are the ones that are always panicking, and they're always one of the first ones to try and sell once they see red. Now, here locally, HEB has been a staple for our local community. We have seen that many individuals do tend to go to HEB for their meats, for certain products that they have. And HEB has done a good job as of late of targeting all areas of the market. Recently, they have just how Whole Foods is targeting the organic crowds, those individuals that are wanting to eat clean and healthy. Well, HEB as well, it has their own organic products. And we have seen them trying to push a lot of their own products, competing with the big dogs. Well, we were surprised to learn that HEB will be having a cashback slash bonus option for us customers. And the way this works is that they will be having a debit card, which will give back 5% on certain products, mainly HEB products. Now, credit cards, the way they work is uh, they incentivize you to use their cards, of course. And the most that I have seen, I have a 2% cash back if I use it on restaurants and gasoline prices. Others have 2 to 3%. I have never seen uh, a card that gives 5% back, and that is something that HEB is offering. Now, haven't you seen that Global is not really in competition? The only competition that I would say that HEB has besides Walmart is Lopez. Individuals still like to go to Lopez for the meats, but nonetheless, is this a great way for us to save money? And not only that, this will serve as a savings account if possible. If customers will be able to deposit money into this account. It will be a Mastercard that will be provided. But is this good for us? Now, individuals that I spoke with about this, they questioned. They said, "Oh, they always has to be an ulterior motive behind this." And whenever you talk about credit cards, debit cards, people start getting weary, of course, because they think there has to be a catch. Well, HEB will be having this 5% give back on their products. And most of their products is uh, Meal Simple, Texas Roots, Heritage Ranch, Creamy Creations, HEB Organics, uh, the uh, sushi. I'm a big fan of HEB's sushi. It is a little bit cheaper than Kumori and Himi. If you are in the Harlingen area, on Sundays they do a 2-for-1 deal. But nonetheless, uh, is this a good way for us to save money? 5% is goes a long way. Will you be signing up for this debit card? Do you naturally or normally go buy HEB products? I try. I said try. I try to eat clean as much as possible. So I always try to go to the greens, to the organic side. So maybe this MasterCard, maybe this debit card will benefit me. Again, 5% cash back on select HEB products, it goes a long way. And especially now with inflation, the way it's going, uh, anything that we can do to save a buck here and there goes a long way. So HEB will be having a 5% cashback slash bonus for those individuals that use their HEB debit card. This could also serve as a savings account. And you always want, as a business, you always want to reach different audiences, different markets. Walmart is not doing this. Global is not doing this. So this is something that they could probably generate different revenue from new customers. Again, the idea is to attract new clients, new customers, those that won't frequent your stores. Will you be frequenting these stores a little bit more? If they give you 5% cash back, it's a greater incentive for you to stay with HEB. So will you be going to HEB for the 5% cash back? Are you a fan of the sushi? I know I am. So again, the sushi, the organic meals, their coffee, their ice creams, and a lot more. They do have like fit meals that they're trying to promote. So 5%, especially with this economy, it goes a long way. Now, this past election, South Texas made history. We had the first female Republican represent South Texas. Mayra Flores did win her election, a special election after Congressman Filemon Vela did retire under weird circumstances. We were given uh, the notion that he retired so he can go into a lobbyist role with a firm in Washington D.C. Now with recent uh, court filings that we have seen here in Brownsville with the Gallegos family, many have questioned and said, "Hey, did Vela resign because of the Gallegos incident?" But nonetheless, South Texas made history. The first female congresswoman was elected, and who can forget uh, that election? And it was a momentous one. And what we saw was that, and this was astounding because many individuals did not feel or did not predict that Mayra Flores would win this election outright. Many individuals thought that she would go into a runoff with Dan Sanchez. We see here how Mayra Flores was able to garner 51% of the vote to avoid a runoff. She did narrowly defeat Dan Sanchez, a Brownsville attorney, Harlingen attorney. But the interesting thing about this election has been that her opponent in this upcoming race stated in a political event that was held for the Democrats, he did state something very odd. Vicente Gonzalez went on the record and he did state that Mayra Flores stole the election. Now, while this is all comical because at the end of the day, many individuals were questioning President Trump when he was saying that, the 2020 election was a fraud. Why? Because it was stolen from them. It is interesting to note that this speech that Vicente Gonzalez gave it was recorded. Is he being a sore loser? He did state that the election was stolen because his candidate Dan Sanchez only spent $250,000 compared to the Republicans who pumped $3 million in that election. Now, I did ask an individual in the know, and he did state that this was the Democrats' way of focusing on this new election. Now, again, you have to remember this new election with Mayra Flores and Vicente Gonzalez is a totally different race. It encompasses a brand new district. Many felt that it wasn't worth the time and money to support a candidate that wasn't going to be running in November. And many questions arise from this. Why didn't Vicente Gonzalez run? Many have stated, well, he would have to resign from his current seat, in which he represents the Hidalgo County area, to run instead of Dan Sanchez. But is this a sore loser's mentality of saying, oh, the election was stolen? Well, let's look at why the election was stolen, according to Chente. Here we have Dan Sanchez shortly after uh, the election in which he was defeated. He stated on the record, he thanked his family, and he says, we came up short tonight despite being outspent by millions of dollars from out-of-state interests and the entire Republican machine. Too many factors were against us, including little to no support from the National Democratic Party and the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. So it wasn't stolen, as Chente wants you to believe. It was because Dan Sanchez, the Democratic candidate, was left to dry. He got no support from the Democrats. How can you run a congressional race, with $250,000? As we all know, these district judges, these district attorneys, their races run $250,000, if not $1 million. Hidalgo County, their recent district attorney race, it cost the candidate $1 million. Now, when you factor everything, he is getting a salary of over 150, 160. So hopefully after 2 terms, he'll be able to recoup some of that money back if he wins the second term. But nonetheless, was this election stolen? Is this a sore loser's mentality of saying that this was taken away from us? But let's remember, we're talking about China Chente, an individual that seems as if laws don't pertain to him. Let's not forget, he didn't pay his taxes for many years, and then he comes back and says, "Oh, this election was stolen." As if Vicente Gonzalez is running for all the wrong reasons. Did he switch districts because he felt that this would be an easier chance for him to secure his reelection? He hasn't been paying his taxes for years. Now, according to his camp, this was an oversight. And again, it's easy for one to say, I didn't pay taxes on a very expensive property for 7 to 8 years because it was an oversight. Again, China Chente is claiming that this election was stolen. But what have we seen from our Congresswoman? Well, one thing that is very close to my heart is the veterans. One thing we have seen is that she has been taking a more active role within our veterans, and that's something that we haven't gotten much assistance from. It's unfortunate that the VA clinic here in the city of Harlingen does lack support. A few years ago, they did score a 1 out of 5 stars, which is embarrassing. We ask our military men to sacrifice it all, but when they come home, we're not there to give them the support and attention that they need. Mayra Flores won this election fair and square. What we have seen from her is that she has hit the ground running. She has been meeting actively with the local hospitals. She has been meeting and has been working with the veterans and their clinic to see what could be done. Also, another thing as of late is that she has been outspoken. Now, many individuals did question and say, hey, are you just pandering to the community? I want and I expect my constituents to ask those tough questions from our elected officials. What elected official have we seen on the record to say, you know what, something has to be done about PUB? And PUB is a very serious issue because this affects everybody, whether you're rich or you're poor. This has been a genuine concern for many individuals, and we talked about it on Monday. Individuals are having to decide, do I pay for medications or do I pay for my light bill? And I want my politicians to be outspoken. I want my elected officials to challenge the establishment. And that is something that Mayra Flores went on the record of. She did make a statement and said, hey, something has to be done. Now, while we could all agree and understand that the only individuals that are able to make a change to this is us, the voters, but more importantly, those in office here for the city of Brownsville. Now, change has to be done to the city charter. We can all agree to that. Now, is it going to be done? Does the city of Brownsville want to have an open market when it comes to electricity? We feel as if they don't. But at least we have somebody with authority, with the title to come and say, hey, PUB, Brownsville, something has to change. Again, if you see me here complaining, as my friend says, do you think they're going to give me attention? You think they're going to allow me the time of day? They're going to say, your 3 minutes are up, sir. Goodbye. But if a congresswoman goes on the record and says, hey, something has to be done. Vicente Gonzalez claims that individuals, Mayra Flores, that she stole this election. It wasn't that this election was stolen. It was, according to Dan Sanchez, the Democratic candidate, according to him, it was because the Democratic National Party did not support. $250,000 was used on a race compared to $3 million. Now, was this election stolen? Absolutely not. But again, this is from an individual, Chente, who is running scared. A red wave is coming, ladies and gentlemen. The Democrats do not have nothing to hang their hat on for this upcoming November. What do? They start throwing things out. Was this election stolen? According to Dan Sanchez, they were just outspent. They were just outworked. And I invite my community to have an open mind this coming November. Vote for Mayra Flores. Consider Mayra Flores. She is the only individual, the only politician, the only elected official that has gone on the record to challenge PUB and say, hey, something needs to be done. Again, if I say it, if Erasmo Castro says it, if anyone else says it, they won't pay us no mind. But at least we have an elected official on the record that will vouch for us and say, hey, something has to be done. Good morning, Cindy. Hello to the beautiful people in Harlingen, Texas. Thank you so much for your time. Now, if you are in need of a root canal, if you are in need of a deep cleaning, make sure you stop by with our friends at All Valley Smiles. They are located between 802 and South Padre Island Highway by CNC Wings on the Rivera side. So if you want that perfect smile, make sure you stop by with our friends at All Valley Smiles. They could be contacted at 956-832-0050. Make sure you let them know that Good Morning Brownsville sent you. Again, if you want that perfect smile, All Valley Smiles is the way to go. Now, we have been very vocal about issues that affect our local community, and we will continue to do so, even though individuals say that we complain too much. Just yesterday, I got a message, and this person has been posting on the page, and she's been saying, can you post something positive? All you say is bad things about Brownsville. And then we spoke about the most important issue besides PUB, and that is SpaceX. She says, why don't you post anything good about SpaceX? And I said, well, 68 acres of refuge land was burned. How do you want me to be positive about that? But you and I can agree that while we do welcome and support economic opportunity for our local area, we have to remember this case in which Elon Musk came down to Brownsville, Texas, the world's richest man, came down to the poorest area in the United States. It feels as if this is something similar to the Europeans whenever they took over the land of the Native Americans. Well, now it seems as if our land is being taken away by the world's richest man. Get out of my beach, peasants. That is what Elon Musk is saying. Starbase has been in the news as of late, and people from all over the world have been coming to see what is going on in South Texas. What does Elon Musk have down there? What is he brewing down there? But let us not forget where we have come to. Recently, we have 5, now 6 roads that Cameron County has abandoned because SpaceX needs them for their testing. Now, again, we have been very vocal about bending over for Elon Musk. Is this a situation where one of the poorest areas is giving $30 million. Remember, $10 million was given to the city of Brownsville for the downtown revitalization. We'll go into that at a later time. But also, $20 million was given to Cameron County schools. Now, are we bought? Are we a community which will throw us crumbs and we say, oh, we're satisfied? This seems to be the issue here with SpaceX. They have taken away our roads for testing. Also, just recently, they did announce that SpaceX will be planning to close the beach for the whole week. Now, my friends always tell me, "Hi, Frankie, you don't even fish. You don't even go out to Boca Chica. What do you care?" But again, our Texas Constitution does not allow for closure or preventing the community from having access to a public beach. This is our natural resource. This is like our very own park that we have access to. Well, we had access to at one point. But doesn't this bother you? Shouldn't more be done about this issue? Now, SpaceX, according to the MOU that was signed back in 2013, 2014, is in violation of closing the beaches. They were only allocated a certain amount of time and hours for them to do so. Now, it seems as if they got free reign. Whatever you want, Elon. You want roads? We'll give you roads. You want to close the beach the whole week? Close the beach the whole week. My friend was stating that this past week, a few weeks ago, his family members were kicked out of Boca Chica Beach. They were there for 20, 30 minutes, and they were forced to leave because there were going to be closures because of SpaceX. What have we seen from our Cameron County officials? Have we heard anything? Has anybody come out on the record and stated, hey, we'll deal with this? Not a peep. They are raising our taxes. They have mismanaged over $5 million. They're in the hole, in the deficit, even though they shift numbers around and try to pretend as if they're not in the hole. There is a deficit in Cameron County. We are giving away access to the beach. We are closing roads because of them. Now, what has to give? An individual who was vocal and took actions into her own hands, maybe not the smartest thing, was Rebecca Hinojosa, a reporter / activist who said, you know what, this is gentrification. We need to stop SpaceX. Is anybody doing anything about this? Is this a big issue for you? Don't you want access to your beach? Now, again, someone like me who is not a fisherman, I do have friends, I do have family. And we all have a story about Boca Chica Beach. Growing up, we would go use my grandpa's camper and be out there. Does it bother you that the world's richest man chose one of the poorest areas and threw $30 million? Now, while $30 million for me sounds a lot, to Elon Musk is probably like a couple cents for us. Are you okay with our county commission not being vocal about this issue? We have an election coming up in November. We have yet to hear from our incumbents regarding what they will do moving forward. It seems as if Elon Musk has taken control of Boca Chica Beach. Get out of my beach, peasants. It is Musk's island now. We have to go back to the MOU, ladies and gentlemen. We need individuals on the Cameron County Commission that will hold Elon's feet to the fire. Why? Because at the end of the day, that beach belongs to us. We need to take ownership of that. Now, while I am all in support of economic opportunity, it seems as if our community is willing to overlook the 68 acres of land that were burnt for the promise of Boca Chica to Mars. Our elected officials have given away roads, have allowed Elon Musk to close our beaches, the most natural, most beautiful resource besides Gladys Porter that we have in the city of Brownsville is now given away to the world's richest man. I invite you to be open-minded this upcoming November. We need individuals on the county commission that will abide by the MOU that was signed between SpaceX and Cameron County? Are we bending over backwards for Elon Musk? Are we letting him reign supreme and do as he wishes because, he gave Cameron County $30 million? It is time for us to be a little bit more vocal and take a harder stance on this. We can all agree that we do need economic opportunity, but at what cost? Are we willing to give up our streets, our roads? Are we willing to allow them to burn 68 acres of land for testing? And that, my friends, is the rest of the story. HEB will be having a 5% give back bonus on a MasterCard. Now, the cool thing about it is that it's 5%. That's a lot of dough. But again, on certain HEB products, that's a great way to target other audiences, other markets. Global is in no competition. The only competition that HEB has is Walmart and Lopez. So will you be going for the 5% cashback? I know I will. The Dow Jones yesterday tumbled and lost over $1 trillion. Does President Biden have anything to do with this? If we have a strong commander-in-chief, will we have a strong market, a strong economy? It seems that way. And Chente claims that the election that might have floated his wand was stolen. The only thing that was stolen was the Democrats' strategy. Why? Because they did not support Dan Sanchez. He was a lame duck. $250,000 was pumped into that election compared to the Republicans, who used $3 million. Now, this upcoming election is going to be very, very important. And even though this is a new district, it is time for us to show that South Texas is ready for change. What have the Democrats done in our area? For 35 years, since I've been in existence on this earth, South Texas has reigned supreme for the Democrats. We have no jobs. We have no economic opportunity. But yet again, they want us to keep on voting Democrat. Vote Democrat because you're Mexican. You're not a Republican. They have kept us dumb, ladies and gentlemen, while those Democrats, whether Republicans, senators, and congresspeople, they themselves have been rich. But us, we stay poor. Get off my beach, peasants. Cameron County officials have been very silent and have turned the other way. Elon Musk has gained roads to be closed. This whole week, the beach will be closed. Now, is it okay? Are we allowing the world's richest man to do as he wishes? Does he reign supreme? Just because he throws a couple $1 million, are we willing to give up and sacrifice the beach? Now, while I don't use it, we all know individuals that use it. And according to the Texas Constitution, they cannot block access to a public beach. And that is something that our officials are allowing Elon Musk to do. Get off my beach, peasants. That is what Elon Musk is saying. It is Wednesday, September 14th, 7:36 a.m. Thanks so much for your time and your attention. Hope to see you here on Wednesday. God bless.